Hi. Most of you guys know who I am through an abundance of Tarkov content that I've generated over the last 4 years or so on Twitch and on YouTube. Educational guides, we do raids on Twitch all the time, but this video doesn't have anything to do with that other than the people involved, the community that we've amassed over the years through all of the content that we have created together. See, I'm trying to raise money to help cure childhood cancer and treat sick kids, and I'm hoping that you guys will stick around long enough to hear the why and not just the what. See, I'm raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And the reason why is because I have a cousin that has benefited directly from their research who would not be here if it were not for that hospital and the research that they provide. And I'm going live from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the GCX Event Twitch channel, where you can see me attempting to raise up to $50,000 for children's cancer research. And I will be doing that with a bunch of incentives and prizes, one of which, if we hit 50,000, will be me embarrassingly shaving my face diagonally for everyone's amusement. Now, if I could do that 10 times over, I would. I want to share with you Jack's story because I think it's important in helping to encompass why this matters. Because Jack is not unique. And that is the tragedy here. See, I have a cousin named Greg. Greg is, I don't know, probably 50 at this point. And he has a son named Jack, who's 5 months younger than my son. My son Noah was born in May of 2005, and Jack was born in November. But when Jack was a toddler, like my son was a toddler, learning how to walk and talk, say the names of things that he wanted to eat, or say, "Be quiet, Daddy, stop talking," like my current toddler does, Jack was nonverbal. Jack didn't speak, and they couldn't figure out why. They would go to speech pathologists, and they would work with Jack to no avail. They couldn't get him to talk, and neurologists were baffled. And then they decided that they were going to go see some neurological specialists. And at some point, someone suggested that he get an MRI. And in September of 2007, they discovered that the reason why Jack was nonverbal was because the part of the brain that would typically have helped a toddler develop speech was being obstructed by a tumor the size of an orange attached to his brainstem, taking up approximately a third of his cranial cavity. The only option for Jack to even consider any form of survival at all was surgery, or else he had approximately 2 weeks left to live, as estimated by the neurologists treating him at the time. And at the time that they opted to perform the surgery, the hospital in which it was being performed had only one team in the anywhere nearby in the area that was trained on trying to do a surgery of this level of delicacy and intricacy. Now, I can only imagine being a dad of 3 children now what my cousin Greg must have been experiencing at that point in time. But the story does have a silver lining. Jack is still here. He's walking and talking, attending school, and he's going into his senior year of high school next year. An amazing thing. But there have been complications. In his short life, Jack has undergone over 300 weeks of chemotherapy and over 30 surgeries to alleviate complications from the original surgery and to try and combat the growth of any cancer cells. See, Jack still has active brain cancer. It's considered active but dormant. He is not in remission. So they continue to fight all the time. Monthly visits back and forth to different locations, different specialists, to try and track how his cancer is progressing. And luckily, it hasn't been, but is still there. See, they couldn't get it all. It was shaped like an octopus or a spider, with tentacles reaching far into his brainstem, the part of the body that is responsible for things like our heart rate and our lungs. Stuff that we take for granted are run by that. No brainstem, no life. So why am I telling you this? Well, the unfortunate reality is that this type of cancer in children is common. 50% of brain cancers that affect children in our country are the type of cancer that Jack has. So there is research ongoing, teams ongoing that are being trained on how to combat and treat this type of cancer in kids. And that is primarily being done at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, where they have 8 affiliate locations that treat not only the children, but also provide services to those children and their families free of charge. And that is done solely through donations from people like yourselves. St. Jude's Research Division shares all of its scientific findings with the scientific community for free. It does not try to profit off of the findings of that scientific research and provides it as open source research findings for every other scientist trying to work on these types of diseases can do so without having to hit a paywall. So in this chair, I will sit tomorrow between the hours of 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the GCX event Twitch channel where you can see me doing my thing in hopes to raise $50,000, where I will then shave my face diagonally, if only for the memes and so chat can laugh at my misfortune. Which, if I believed that I could raise 10 times that much, which I hope to one day, I would gladly do 10 times over. Because while I'm glad that Jack's here, the unfortunate reality is that some people don't live that long. They don't make it as far as he did. And for those reasons, my cousin's son is still here. Unlike my friend Christian and so many other people that have not made it as long as Jack has. So tomorrow I not only do this for my cousin's son Jack, but I also do this in loving memory of my first bassist in my first band ever, Christian Coons, who unfortunately succumbed to his brain cancer in October of 2018. So I would ask that you please consider joining me tomorrow to help put a dent in the budgetary needs of St. Jude, so that maybe we can look back on this and say we finally stamped out that, at least that one form of children's cancer, and work on to other ones, in hopes that in the future, in subsequent years, I'll be able to continue building upon what it is that we've created so far, and maybe even see that number 10 times larger. I would love that. Anyway, guys, that's what I have for this one. I hope I can see you there. And if I don't, thank you for watching, and I hope we can beat this one together. Thanks.